Hello, this is Singing Dawn and I'm Ellen, and you are most welcome here. Today is day 3, Holy. So as I light the candles, I just remind you, you're welcome and encouraged to light candles of your own in your own space, or as I light them, to place your hands around your larynx and give your throat and larynx, your voice, a blessing. Around at your solar plexus and the bottom of your rib cage, give your lungs a blessing, and in your lower belly and where your pelvic floor is in contact with the chair, to give the ground of your being a blessing. And then I'm going to sing Bright Morning Stars, and I ask you to breathe slowly, long deep breaths in and out through your nose, allowing your mind to travel on your breath through your body. So let's get started. Bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising. Day is a breaking in my soul. So here we are at day 3, Holy. I ask for your patience if it feels like we're getting kind of a slow start here, but it's really important how we begin. And there's some phrases coming up that we're going to be using over and over again in our journey together, and it's worth taking some time to meet them and integrate them into our being. So 3 things about holy. The first is just the obvious, that it's direct address. When we say, Holy One, open my lips, we are, by that very act, addressing someone other than ourselves. We are acknowledging that we're not alone. And in fact, the fact that we are at all is because we are in relationship. We are in relationship with the other. And so when we sing, we are sending the sound of ourselves beyond the edge of ourselves to touch the other. And this is a primal way of navigating inner and outer space, of making that connection between inner and outer, and of expressing and celebrating the reality that we exist not on our own, but as part of the whole, part of the ground of being. We call out, Holy One. We are calling out to the one that we love with everything that we are. So that's the first thing. Every time we invoke Holy One, we are expressing our being in relationship. The second thing is just a word about the very expression, Holy One. For our journey, we're using that expression, Holy One, for the word which many translations of the Psalms and other liturgical texts you may have seen translate as Lord. But Lord itself is a stand-in in Scripture for the 4-letter name of God that was revealed to Moses at the burning bush, that YHWH. And that name, that 4-letter name, The exact meaning of it remains somewhat enigmatic, somewhat mysterious, but it carries connotations of I am who am, or I am who I shall be, or I am the one who is becoming. It has long been a custom in the Jewish community to not to voice that name as a way of honoring its holiness. And so we are going to use Holy One as a placeholder for that unvoiced name, direct address of the divine. To name and to address the one who is most meaningful, most sacred, most powerful in our lives. And as we do that time after time after time in our chanting, I encourage you to continue to explore the gerundive quality that's embedded in the meaning of this name, this unnameable name. It is always an invocation of becoming. And so every time we sing it, we are choosing to lay ourselves open to the Holy One's becoming in us. And finally, this chant practice is about the physicality of grace. And so let's take some time to focus on the physicality of singing Holy One. So if you just go back to that place with your feet on the floor where you're rocking side to side on your sit bones, and then forward and back on your sit bones, you can feel the hip joint opening and closing. Take a second to get in touch with your breath and the dance that your breath and your spine are doing together. And then take a moment to feel the circle of breath in your own being, in your own time. And then we're going to drop the sound of ourselves into the well of our belly, the well of our being. Huh. 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 And then we're going to put our lips together and sustain that sound a little bit longer. Hum. 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 If we pitch it a little higher, we'll get a little more energy going through our body. Hum. 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 See if you can feel the soles of your feet picking up the vibrations of your sound. Hum. Hum. And now let's just take the vowels of Holy One. O, E, Ah. And we're just going to sound those vowels just on one pitch, as the Psalms say, to taste and see. What is that sound of the invocation of God? How does it taste in my mouth? And again. I try it a little lower. A little higher. Every time we're waiting for this cycle of breath to pass through our body, and we're catching a ride on the forward edge of that breath on our exhale, dropping the sound into our belly. Now let's just take a second to play with the consonants. So we begin with the H sound, which is a fantastic way to get our breath going. And if you consciously get the breath going before you put sound to it, it's much more likely that you're going to be able to ride that breath like a surfer. Because you've already primed the body to hop onto the breath. And then the L sound, you can actually sing on. And N of one, you can also sing on the N. So putting that all together, the vowels, and the consonants. Going to do that again. Vowels. Consonants. Putting them all together. Holy One, Holy One. Fantastic. So I invite you to think about, to reflect on, as you're singing, what does holy mean to you today? And where do you feel holiness in your body? Trusting that the divine shows up in our physicality. Where do you feel holy in your body? And so we're going to close our time together by once again singing that opening versicle. I'll just remind you of the words. Holy One, open my lips, and my mouth shall proclaim your praise. I'll say it one more time. Holy One, open my lips, and my mouth shall proclaim your praise. So roll yourself around a little bit. Get ready to pass through that threshold. Have that experience of our voicing, our singing, leading us like a banner forward into the holy. Here we go. Holy One, open my lips, and my mouth shall proclaim your praise. Let's do it twice more. We'll go a little bit higher. Holy One, open my lips, and my mouth shall proclaim your praise. Holy One, open my lips, and my mouth shall proclaim your praise. May it be so. Thank you for sharing yourself and your time with me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.